How many of you like insects? Show your hand. Oh, there are two. Okay, yay. I know some of them you may have. Okay, I see thumbs up. Good job. Okay, I see a no. That's okay. So I want to, some people think that all bugs are bad. And I will admit that if they're on me, I either mush them or I wipe them off, and unless I have a moment to think. But I don't really want to get bitten or stung or scratched or anything like that. But really, if all the insects were piled into one big old pile all over the earth, it would actually weigh more than all the people on earth in a pile and weigh. That's pretty amazing. It'd be a pretty big pile of bugs, but that's how many bugs are out there, and they're not all bad. About 97% of them are actually good for us, or they just don't hurt us or help us. They just kind of hang around, and maybe they're food for something else. So what we're going to talk about is what they're good for, because I do want to emphasize that, and then we're going to talk about what makes an insect an insect. So mostly they're food for other things. A lot of things eat insects, even people, but we're talking lizards, frogs, toads, birds, mammals, fish, did I say lizards? And even people eat them. It's a really good source of protein. I haven't tried it myself because I haven't been that hungry, but I was offered a chocolate covered grasshopper once, and I said thank you, but no, not today. So I haven't tried that yet. Maybe one day I'll get brave enough. But they're really good source of protein for a lot of people who maybe need that protein because they don't have other sources. So that's a good thing about insects. They're food for other, and they're even food for other insects, and we'll talk about that too. Okay, now butterflies, you might think, okay, well, they're beautiful, so we love to look at butterflies and pretty moths, but they actually serve another function, just like bees do. They're pollinators. And so they pollinate our food vegetables. Actually, the bees do that. And so then we have squash and zucchini and a lot of other vegetables and fruit too. And then we also have a lot of flowers because of the pollinators that are the butterflies and the moths. They pollinate from one plant to another, then the plant makes seeds, and then we have more flowers growing. So it's wonderful. So they're not just appealing to the eye, they're also very useful to us. We also have, have you ever heard of dung beetles? They're really fun to watch because they roll little balls of dung and they actually eat those and stuff, but they break them down and then they're usable on the ground as fertilizers. If we didn't have what we call recyclers that eat rotten wood or poop or even dead animals, then we would just be buried in all this awful stuff. So all these critters help break all that down so that the soil can use it to grow plants. And then one of my favorites is predators. I love predators because they actually hunt and kill other insects to eat. That's how they eat. And my favorite ones are dragonflies. Dragonflies are I have dragonfly earrings on today. You probably can't see them. And assassin bugs. There are actually bugs out there that stalk. They move really slow, or they hide, and they jump on other insects and catch them if they come by, and then they eat them. Mud daubers are another predator, and they actually like to eat spiders. I've taken a little mud dauber nest, and I've broken it open, and they're nothing but little spider carcasses in there. So they're good about keeping spiders at bay. And then a praying mantis is also one of my favorites. They seem to look at you if you talk to them, but they do catch a lot of insects. And so they keep some of those bad insects from getting out of hand. And oh, I forgot about ladybugs. Ladybugs are a really good predator. They eat a lot of little pests that can really devastate a garden. So now that y'all know that insects can be good, and most of them are, we're going to go on into the next area about what makes an insect different from other bugs. So I know some of you can't show me because you don't have cameras. But we'll talk about what makes an insect an insect. So who can show me, just show me, you can show me with your hands, how many legs do insects have? I can't see that.
Some say 6, some are saying 8.
Ah, okay. Okay, well, the answer is 6. Spiders have 8 legs, and they're actually not an insect. They're called an arachnid, A-R-A-C-H-N-I-D, I believe. So, in fact, have y'all ever heard of the word to describe somebody who has a very high fear of spiders? Y'all know what they have? It's called arachnophobia. That's a big word for today. Okay, so that's 6. So they have 6 legs. How many body parts do they have? Again, you can use your fingers if you have a camera.
I'm seeing 3, Miss Gail.
Yes, 3, that's correct. Okay, can anybody name any of them or all of them? Let me know if you can.
Oh, it looks like, is it Matilda or? Go ahead and unmute and tell me how to say your name, and then you had your hand raised. Go ahead.
Matilda. So the 3 body parts of an insect are the head, thorax, and abdomen.
Absolutely correct. Okay, so that's awesome. So I'm going to tell you the head is going to be where the antenna are, and the eyes, which can be simple or compound, and of course the mouth parts, and those can be chewing, ripping, something like a straw. They can have several different kinds of mouth parts. The thorax is going to be in the center, and that's where the legs will be attached. The 6 legs will be attached. Usually the thorax is 3 segments, and each pair of legs is in a segment. And also if they have wings, because insects don't have to have wings, that's where they would be, is on the thorax. And if they do have wings, they can have either 1 pair or 2 pair. Okay, and then the abdomen is the back end. Usually it's kind of the bigger part. That's where all the digestive stuff is, where they process what they eat. And then that's also where they expel it when they're done. So that's the body parts. Also, they have an outer covering on them, and it's called an exoskeleton because it's outside the body. You know, our skeletons are inside, but they have one outside the body, so it's called an exoskeleton, and it hardens and it kind of protects the insect. Not really well from a shoe, but it does, it does protect an insect. Now, occasionally, well, a lot of insects actually grow, and as they grow, they shed that exoskeleton. So I have a cicada or cicada, tomato, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a cicada. And is my camera working? Okay. And when they get too big for their, I'm going to say it this way, if they get too big for their britches, then they just get out of the exoskeleton and they get bigger. This is a very vulnerable, let me see. Okay. This is a very vulnerable time for an insect. This is when other things can get them because they really don't, they can't get away because they're in the middle of trying to get rid of their exoskeleton. Okay, it's not focusing.
It is on ours.
Oh, it is? Okay. So can you see the back has been kind of cut open? The insect does that. And so if you ever see these, they usually are everywhere, the cicada shells, and you can look at them. They're pretty amazing. It almost looks like they took a knife and cut themselves out, and then they get out, and then they have to harden off their new one. So that's, like I said, when they're really vulnerable. Okay. That's pretty much it, except I have some little facts for you. One, because I didn't tell you this, but they can have a pair of compound eyes. Most of them have compound eyes. There are 2 that I know of, and there probably are more insects that have more than 1 pair of eyes. They have 2 pair of eyes. And one of them is a grasshopper, and I can actually do this too if the camera's on. Okay, so I want to show you this drawing of a grasshopper, and if you look, there it says compound eyes right up there. Woo. This is hard to do when you're backwards. Okay. And then the simple eyes, you can barely see a little dot right there. You can barely see that. So I thought it was interesting. This is something I didn't know. Also, if you've ever gone out to a pond or a lake and you see something whirling around on top of the water, just going crazy, 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 then that's probably a whirligig. It's actually called a whirligig. And that insect has two pairs of eyes also. It has a pair of eyes that it can look over the water and a pair of eyes where it can look under the water. That sounds confusing to me because I only have one pair of simple eyes, but that's what they have, so they can see what's going on under and also over. So I think those are really cool facts. Okay. All righty, so now I want to show you on this. So back to camera again, just to kind of show you how the parts are divided. So you see this is a little grasshopper guy. Whoops. And he has all the proper parts. So he's got a head and he's got a thorax, and you can tell because the legs, he's got two really big legs and then four regular legs. So they're attached to this center area, which is the thorax. And then the end part is the abdomen. So that's pretty cool. And then this is a little ant I made, and I tried to color this ant because I used styrofoam balls. It doesn't work. So I think the better idea is I just use him and then I'm calling him a ghost ant, and there actually is such a thing. So there you go. So this I'm showing the three body parts. There's the head with the eyes and the antenna, and then the thorax is actually the smaller part, but it's got all 6 legs made out of pipe cleaners. And then here's the abdomen. So really it seems like most of the stuff's going on these 2 parts, but there's a lot going on in this third part that we don't see until they have frass at the end. That's a nice way of saying. So, okay. But now we're going to get to our first project. Yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to work, if you've got this, hope you've got the supplies. You don't have to have exactly these supplies. If you have other ideas for how to make your craft, you may use them, of course. We're just going to make a camo bug, but we will talk about camouflage a little bit, a camo insect. So y'all know what camouflage is probably, because if you've got a hunter in the family, they probably dress in camouflage. Some of you may be hunters. Also, they use it in the military. And then insects also use camouflage. And some of them use it so that they can hide from predators. Some of them use it, like the predator insects use it so that they can catch other insects. So they have camouflage. And then some insects use reverse camouflage. They actually want to be seen with these bright, vivid, beautiful colors. And it's like a warning sign to other things that might want to eat them. Now, sometimes so other things that see them, they go, oh, it's too bright and pretty. It's probably poisonous. I mean, they don't say words like we do, of course, but it's like a warning sign to them. And it may not be true. It may not be a poisonous insect, but they're kind of faking it out so that something won't eat them. So I've got chickens, and my chickens love to eat grasshoppers. So I catch grasshoppers a lot and bring them in there, and they get very excited when they see me come in there because they know I've got something for them. And I have one particular grasshopper that I've tried to get them to eat, and they will not eat it. And when it's a baby, when it's a little nymph, it's black with red stripes. And it grows to be a really large grasshopper. And they definitely don't want that big one. In fact, it's kind of a big old crunch under my shoe when I step on it. But it does a lot of damage in the garden. But I tried to feed them the little ones because you catch the little ones quicker because they can't really fly. And they will not eat those. They'll eat other grasshoppers, but they will not eat those black ones with red stripes. There's something about that. They think it's bad for them, and maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, now back to our project. So what we're going to do is something like this. And pardon?
There you go, right there.
Okay, so this is my little camo bug. I didn't color it because the styrofoam egg cartons are not very easy to color. So I got one of these other kind of fibrous ones. And so this is supposed to be a caterpillar. It doesn't have to be. And caterpillars don't usually have wings, but mine do because this is my caterpillar. And also the legs aren't right because I've got them spread out along the side instead of having them all on the thorax. So that's not correct. I've got little weird antenna on them. And also it's got a little tail that's a feather. Not all caterpillars have a little tail that sticks up. They can't hurt you with that. But I would not handle a caterpillar you weren't familiar with without gloves on because some of them might sting you. The ones I know I handle, but otherwise I don't. Now, if ever you do get a caterpillar, if you can, turn it over so you can look at the legs because they actually do only have 6 true legs. The rest of the part down there on their abdomen is mostly for balance. So you can see the body parts on a caterpillar because the head will have any antenna and little, and you know, the mouth parts where they chew up all your leaves. And then the part that's got those true legs is going to be that thorax. And then the back part where there are those, I call them fake out legs because they're not real legs. That's the abdomen. So does anybody have a question about so far everything we talked about or I've talked about? Okay, well, let's start on our insect. And this is your insect. So I've got an egg carton here. And if you want to use it true to 3 body parts, you'd probably just want to take and cut off 3 of these little parts here, and that would give you your body parts. So I'm going to do that right now.
So if you're doing this with a sibling, y'all can share the same egg carton. You only need 3 pieces. Your hands this way. No, your hands forward. Go like that. There you go.
I'm not very long, man.
There you go. Very good job.
Mine's easy to cut.
I know your last name's Fitzgerald. Unmute and tell me your first name.
Why are they doing that right now? It's too much noise.
Fitzgerald, what's your first name? Tell me.
My name is Riley. My name's Jenna.
Riley and Jenna. Okay, thank you so much. Good job, Riley and Jenna. Y'all look good. What about you, Nathan? Y'all working on it? William and Hazel are working on it. I see Madison working on it. You only need 3 parts, so William, you can cut yours in half.
See, it looks something like that. You can clean it up a little bit if you want to. So on the side, it would look like this. And then you can decide which side's going to be the head and which side's going to be the abdomen. And you can start putting eyes on it, legs on it, whatever you want. So pipe cleaners make good legs.
So Hazel, you can cut yours and you only need 3 little humps. So I think you can cut it in half. How's it going, Nathan? How are y'all doing? Good, good deal.
I figured out that toothpicks poke holes really well. Toothpicks poke holes really well. So I'm just going to take a pipe cleaner and cut it in half, and then I'm going to try to figure out 3 equal places for it. You can use more than 1 pipe cleaner if you want longer legs. It's up to you. In fact, I may do that.
So right now you should be cutting your legs, and if you haven't gotten to your finished your carton yet, you're fine. Take your time. But once you get that done, you need to work on getting your 6 legs together.
I just fold the pipe cleaners so I can kind of make the legs even.
Good job, Madison. That looks good. I see William working on his legs. Riley and Jenna, are y'all working on y'all's legs? Good deal.
So I probably should.
Madison, you have a question?
I think I have pipe cleaners.
Do you
I think
You could use anything. You don't necessarily have to use pipe cleaners. Do you have straws?
I don't think so.
Okay, do you have toothpicks?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could use toothpicks. You just have to be careful because they're kind of pointy. But you could use toothpicks for now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nathan, how's it coming over there with y'all? Good? Good deal.
So now, so I'm gonna poke holes in the middle section because that's really where all the legs should be. These are not quite as easy as the styrofoam ones.
So if you are using one that's like a cardboard egg carton, make sure you're careful
Yes.
when you're poking your holes for your legs.
So I may end up using my scissors. The styrofoam, it goes right through.
If
But
you have a styrofoam one, you could probably just use the pipe cleaner even and it would stab through.
yes, I didn't think about that. Styrofoam is really handy, but it never disappears from our environment.
Good job,
So-
Madison.
I try not to use I try not to buy things with styrofoam, but sometimes that's what they have, so that's what you got to use. And you know, a lot of to-go, if you go out and pick up something to eat at a restaurant, a lot of times they put it in styrofoam. So I wish we wouldn't use it, but it is handy to have.
Hazel, do you have a question? No? Okay.
So we're recycling some things here. That's always a good thing.
So everyone should be working on their legs right now. And if you don't have pipe cleaners, that's okay. You can make it as creative as you want. You can have different color legs. You can have different shaped legs, but you need 6 of them.
I'm using scissors. but I'm not going through.
Once you have your legs done, show us on the camera.
Yeah, that's not.
Very good, Jenna and Riley. Those look great.
You could always tape the legs
Oh, yeah, thank
from
you.
underneath. the
Very
legs.
good.
You can't poke holes.
Yeah, you could actually use tape if you'd rather, or glue to put
There
the
you go,
legs on.
Madison.
But you see, I've got legs on mine now. Kind of looks like a spider, except spiders have 8 legs. We've already talked about that. Okay, so now I've got to find something else I can put on here. And you can use you can draw your stuff on them too. Like if you want to draw eyes, but I want to put some antenna on. That's right. Let me put a color of the antenna on.
Okay, so even if you're still working on your legs, keep going, but Miss Gail's gonna go ahead and put an antenna on hers. And you can put go ahead and put your antenna on yours if you're ready.
Should I use styrofoam?
Nathan, how's it going over there? And is it Matita? Is that how you say it? How do you say your sister's name?
Matilda.
Matilda. Okay, the L wasn't there. That's okay. Nathan and Matilda. That's what I thought. Once you have antennas, let us see those two guys. There you go, Nathan. It says Matilda now. Once you have antennas, go ahead and show us that too. Ooh, very good, Balin. That looks good. Very nice. And if you wanted to, you can see Miss Gail, she's coloring hers. You can make your bug, your insects, any color that you want.
I don't have any,
Very good. That looks good.
I don't have a green marker, so I'm just gonna use other colors to kind of do the camouflage.
Good job, Madison. How's it going, William and Hazel? Good deal.
These are not the colors that are showing up on.
Oh, very cool, Levi. Very creative. Landon and Carrie, we can't see you. How's it going for y'all? Okay. All right, guys, so you should be working on finishing up your bugs. You can add finishing touches. Miss Gail's going in and adding some finishing touches to hers. If you want to work on it more later, you can too.
So there's, I put a little face on it, I actually drew a face
Very good.
if you want to, and then you can color it up to kind of make that camouflage look. Especially if you have the right colors. Okay. Are we ready to move on?
All righty, once you're done, go ahead and show it to us and we'll give you about 2 more minutes to finish up. And that doesn't mean you can't go back and work on it later. We're just gonna move on to the next thing, but go ahead and show us. We'll give you about 2 more minutes to finish. Good job, Riley and Jenna. Those look great. Matilda, did you, oh, good job, Nathan. Matilda, how's yours look? You still working on it? Okay, that's fine. What about you, William? Working on it still? Okay. Hazel has like a super bug going on over there.
Mine went through a hard tsunami thing.
That's
It has a couple battle scars.
all right.
Probably makes it more interesting anyway.
Adds character.
It sort of looks like it's mad for some reason.
All right, we'll give you about another minute and then we'll get started on our next activity. Very good, Luke. That looks awesome. Very creative. Very nice, Hazel. Very nice. All right, everyone. So go ahead and get those things put to the side that you just used. We're going to go ahead and get started on our next activity.
Okay.
Very good, Riley. Very
Oh
good.
yeah, I like that. They all look so good. Very
They do.
cute. Very cute. I like that.
All right, go ahead and set those to the side. Miss Gail's gonna get us started on our next activity.
I wish you guys were here so that I could see them up close. I do. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is metamorphosis. Do y'all know what metamorphosis is?
Oh, Nathan does. He's got a thumbs up.
Anybody else? Metamorphosis?
William has his thumb up. Nathan and William. Luke said he does.
Awesome.
Riley has her thumb up.
Okay, so it's just the insects go through a stage of change in their lives, and some of them go through more changes and some go through fewer changes. So this is just oh, I love that. That's so
Good job,
cute.
Jenna.
So if y'all can see this, can they see that?
Mhm.
Okay. So we've got here two types of metamorphosis. One is called simple, that's the one up here. And you can see that the insect starts as an egg and then it turns into a nymph. And they have 3 bubbles showing how the nymphs change when they grow big. Remember the cicada? As it grows and it gets too big for its exoskeleton, it sheds it and then it gets bigger until it gets to adulthood. So there are really 3 stages: eggs, nymphs, and adult. This one is a beetle. I'm sorry, it's not a beetle. It's an no, it's a leaf-footed bug. It's a leaf-footed stink bug. I don't like these. These are one of those insects I'm not keen on at all. But that's what this one's illustrating, is a leaf-footed stink bug. Now this down here is called complete metamorphosis. And this is actually the life cycle of a ladybug, or a lady beetle is what they call it. But it's our ladybug. We love ladybugs, don't we? Nods. Okay. And it, again, starts out as eggs. Then it turns into a larva.
Hang on just a second, Miss Gail.
What's the name?
We have all frozen, so let's
Oh.
go check our internet.
Oh,
Hang
we're
on.
back.
Oh, there you go. You're back. There
We're
you go.
back.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start back with this complete metamorphosis in case y'all missed part of that. This one is illustrating the life cycle of a ladybug. We like ladybugs. They're really good predators. Remember, I said that earlier. So it starts out as eggs, turns into a larva, which doesn't look anything like a ladybug. I like that. And then the next one's a pupa. And then we have the adult ladybug, which we are familiar with.
And Miss Gail, Miss Christie actually has some soldier flies that she can show the life cycle of right now. Like she can show it in real life.
Oh, okay. I'm good
So
with
Miss
that.
Christie, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Oh, they're getting ready right now. Hang on just a second. Let them unmute.
Can you hear us all right?
We can hear you. Go ahead real quick.
Okay, so there we flipped it. So we've got some black soldier fly. Stop, there's one right there I want to show you. There's the adult of the black soldier fly. Okay, that one right. Woo, this is hard to do. This thing right here. And you see how docile they are. Like that's a live one. So there's the adult version. And then, okay, Luke's taking the lid off. So you can see all this yellow stuff that's up underneath here. And then I'm not sure if you can see inside here. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to be real still. You see how some of that cardboard is full of stuff? Those are all eggs. And that's how it lays its eggs in these crevices. So you can see that one right there in the middle. It's not wanting to, there's some that are a little better. So you can see they grow, she lays her eggs in crevices all over. And then this whole thing is full of different ages of, Miss Gail, what stage would this be?
This would be the larva stage.
Larva stage. Okay, so we have egg and then larva. And these guys eat, Luke just put this banana that's right here. He just put this in right after we started this, and it was almost a full banana. So that's why they're all on this side compared to this side, because they're coming over here to eat. There's some of those, like what Miss Gail was talking about earlier, and they eat, y'all, I don't even know what the number is, 100 times their weight in food a day type things, and they eat all kinds of wastes that we have. And I'm standing right over this, and it does not smell. These aren't like the same kind of animals that smell. Okay, so I'm standing right over it. There is no smell, but whatever smell they do give off is what makes that female come back and lay her eggs in the same area, so that then it just falls back into the bedding area here. And their bedding is actually food. It's not dirt. So it's a grain-based diet is what they eat. So after a while, these things will come and self-evacuate is the word, to go into their pupa stage. I'll dig around and see if I can find some.
Adult, like close to adult.
Yeah, I've got some over here in this other container. But when I say self-evacuate, they come out of this bedding and will go into another thing. So if you saw me holding this thing a while ago, these
I didn't know this looked like.
were all pupating at one time. Now a lot of these are already out, but there are some pupa still in here. Watch it move after I'm gonna put it on the ground so it's flatter. Yeah, you can see where they just came out. They just came out of their thing. Let's see if we can find one moving. I know there's some in here because we put them in last night. There's one. And what they do is they crawl out of that. And then these are those things, Miss Gail, like you were talking, that you can feed to other animals. You can feed them to fish. You can feed them to chickens. You can feed them. There he goes. He's going to start moving. We feed them to the toad frogs here on the back porch is what we do with them. So you can see that one is, he's moving into the pupa stage. And then you can see one of these. Okay, the dog's going to come check us out too, of course. This was kind of impromptu. I read. Okay, so this one has, I'm trying to find it on my hand. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's empty. There's a hole in it.
He literally just ate the black soldier fly.
No, he didn't. He just licked it and it's still there.
Oh.
So these things are really just shells. Can you hear it? So there's not many of them actually alive in here. They've already gone through their stage and then come back as the adult, come out as the adult. And actually you could see that one in there, I think, that was coming out. See, kind of a thing. There's one. So, okay. So that was all of the life cycle of these black soldier flies. I'll turn it back over to y'all.
Thank you, Miss Christie. Mr. Reggie said be sure to wash your hands. All right, go ahead, Miss Gail.
That was super awesome. I'm so glad Miss Christie did that. It was very, very interesting. I couldn't believe all the larvae. There were a bunch of larvae. Okay, so now I wanted to say one word about butterflies, because butterflies do the complete metamorphosis, and so do moths. So they go through the larva stage, which is the caterpillar. After the eggs hatch, they could become caterpillars. And then instead of pupa, they make chrysalis, unless it's a moth, and then it's a cocoon. And then, of course, they turn into an adult, which is beautiful. So any questions about this before we go to our craft?
I don't think so, no ma'am.
Okay, well, I'm wearing what I did yesterday, but I'm going to make another one today. And what I'm doing is illustrating the life cycle of a butterfly. Now, it doesn't have to look exactly like what it's supposed to be. It will be whatever you want it to be. So I'm starting, and I'm actually showing the circle of life on this necklace. So I thought that was fun too. I really enjoyed doing this. Let me put it on the white so it's easier to see. Okay, so I put these on here. These illustrate butterflies. So here's where it starts. Here's the butterfly. It sees flowers. Here are the flowers. And they actually look like little flowers, but it might not be able to see the beads that well. So this flower is growing in the dirt, so I've got it in brown, and it pollinates and it lays its eggs. So here are the eggs. These are the white eggs right here. And then when the eggs hatch, they turn into a caterpillar. So I have this real pretty turquoisey caterpillar, which is not true to life necessarily, but that's what I wanted to illustrate my caterpillar with. When the caterpillar eats and gets bigger and eats and gets bigger, when it's ready to turn into a chrysalis, this is what I'm illustrating as a chrysalis. It's a button. You can use whatever you want. And then when the chrysalis hatches, it becomes another butterfly, so the cycle starts all over again. So I wanted to illustrate the cycle of life at the same time as I'm illustrating complete metamorphosis. So you guys, what I'd like y'all to do is either make a belt, a bracelet, or you can make a necklace. Necklaces are easy because if you make it big enough, you can just put a square knot on the top and then slip it over your head and pull it back off without taking your ears off. So you guys can do whatever you want. I'm going to make another one. If you don't want to use all these beads, because it did take a little bit of time, you can knot them apart from each other so they don't slide all around. I kind of knotted the end ones a little bit so that it would hopefully stay straight.
Miss Gail, can you open your poster again and with your
Sure.
necklace so that maybe they can see while they're making?
Right.
Maddie, what's your question?
So I don't really have beads like the beads you're using. I have like jewelry making beads, you know?
That works too. You can make it whatever you'd like. What we're wanting you to do, and you can use different colors, different shapes, whatever it is that you have. We want you to illustrate the life cycle like that you can see on the screen right now that Miss Gail has done. She's done it. Hers is the example, but the picture is the life cycle that you need to make.
And you can use either type of metamorphosis. If you just want to do the simple one, that's perfectly fine. And your craft will illustrate what you want it to illustrate. So if you don't have white beads to show as eggs, you can do whatever you want. So I did a little preemptory stuff here.
And if you don't have beads, you can use buttons. You can go back and use some of the pipe cleaners, those kinds of things. If you need to from our previous craft, whatever you need, you can cut it out.
And see, I've got a pipe cleaner that I rolled up into a little ball, and I can use that as the eggs, or I can illustrate the chrysalis with this, whatever I want to do. So you can just make up your own. It doesn't even have to be white, because not all chrysalises are white. I'm sorry, not all eggs are white, not all chrysalises are white. In fact, some chrysalises look like bird droppings, and some look like other things. So they vary in their appearance. Okay. So y'all can get started. If you haven't already, go ahead and get started and just have a lot of fun with it. While you're doing your project, I can give y'all a couple of riddles. If you know the answer, if you want to hold up your hand, you can, or I'll just give you the answer when I'm done. These are just insect riddles that are kind of fun. You have to guess what it is. So this one starts, I am an insect. I have 4 long, narrow wings that make a whirring sound when I swoop over ponds and lakes searching for mosquito larvae. Anybody know what it is yet?
Oh, Maddie has her hand up. Go ahead.
Is it a grasshopper?
No, but that was a good guess.
William has his
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly, that's it.
Good job,
Got
Lou.
some smarties here. Okay. Here's another one. I am not an insect. I have 2 body parts instead of 3, as insects have, and I have 8 legs instead of 6. Anybody know what this is yet? I see a hand.
Yep, William. Go ahead, William.
I think it's a spider.
And you would be right. Okay. I think I have another one. This is a rhyming one, but if you know what it is, hold your hand up. I cannot fly or spin a web, chew through wood, or even hop. But when it comes to eating insects, I'm pretty much nonstop. Anybody know yet? Okay. My chewing mouth parts munch on leaves morning,
Oh,
evening. Oops. we got-
Matilda, do you know it? Okay, go ahead and unmute and tell us.
Praying mantis.
Praying mantis.
No, but I like that. You're thinking
That's a
of
good
praying
guess.
mantises.
What about you, Maddie?
Is it a ladybug?
No.
All right, one more guess, Luke, and then if you get to get it, then what do you think it is? Oh, hang on, he's muted.
Caterpillar.
Yes, sir. That next line I was going to read would have given it away because it's in preparation for the big day when I change in my cocoon. So very good. Y'all did a good job. You got jokes? Oh. Did you find your jokes? Oh, yes.
All right, how's it coming with everyone? How's your metamorphosis belt, bracelet, necklace, whatever you're making coming? How's it going for you, Hazel? Can I get a thumbs up? Good deal. What about you, Nathan?
Still working.
You're still working? Good deal. What about you, Riley and Jenna? How's it going? Hang on just a second, I'll unmute you. Oh. Can you unmute?
We're doing good.
You're doing good? Good deal.
Okay, just one page.
Balin, what about you? How are you doing?
So you only did one.
Maddie's working hard. Oh, Balin's giving me a thumbs up. Good deal. All right, well, y'all keep working.
Y'all want to hear a few jokes while you're working?
I see some nods. Go ahead.
All
Miss Gail.
right. Okay. How do we know that insects are so clever? The answer is because they always know when you're eating outside. Okay. What do you call a little bee? A baby. I like that one. Why do bees have sticky hair? It's because they use honeycombs. All right, that's all I got. Oh, no, I have one more. How do you shoot a killer bee? With a BB gun. Thank you for that.
Levi even laughed at that one a
Oh,
little bit.
good,
I
good.
saw a smile. Landon's giving you a round of applause.
Oh, yay, thank you. I appreciate it.
And Riley. Y'all keep working on your bracelets. We'll give you, or necklaces or belts or whatever it is that you're working on. And if you finish, be sure you show us because we'd love to see them.
Absolutely.
All right, so the string I have, it's not acting right, so I can't put my beads on.
you might give it a fresh cut. Oh, okay, yeah, you might give it a fresh cut because I kept having that problem and I was using a cord. It gets frayed at the end and then it won't go in. So you can give it a new cut and maybe it'll be easier to stick it in there. But I had to find some big beads so my cord would go through it with holes, big holes.
Okay. Clear nail
Oh, okay. I got an idea. If you've got some clear nail polish, you can put that on the end, wait for it to dry, blow on it, and then that'll help it go in too. That's a really good idea. Thank you. Yes. Excellent. I need to use that. Because after a while you keep cutting it, then you don't have any cord left. But I was digging around in my jewelry stuff too, because I used to make bead jewelry. So I found a lot of little things in there. So that means that my little craft room is a mess right now.
Nathan, that looks good. Are you working on the metamorphosis one? The bracelet or necklace or belt? Good deal.
These are kind of nice to work with. They're cool in your hands and they make me feel kind of nice. Especially in the hot summer.
Yep, Landon gave a thumbs up.
And remember, you don't have to use beads. If you want to make your own pieces out of pipe cleaners, you can do that too. And then you can just string that onto whatever you're using. And wrap it around so you can string it on like this. It's kind of light to see, but you can see you can string it on like that. Pipe cleaners are wonderful. I don't know what we used to do without them. And you can use tape, glue, whatever you've got. It's your project.
All right, guys, how's everyone coming? Can everyone show me what you've got so far?
Ooh.
Very good, Riley. And William, very nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
Very good, Nathan.
Has anybody finished yet?
Oh, very good,
I
Jenna.
love it. Yeah, those are really nice.
All right, we're gonna give you think y'all can get it done in 3 minutes? You think maybe 3 minutes? Yeah, I got a thumbs up. All right, we're gonna give you 3 more minutes to get your metamorphosis
craft.
Craft finished.
And then if they want to talk about it, they can talk about it. Do you like my necklace?
I do. Sounds very stylish, Miss Kim.
I liked it too. It's symmetrical, but it's got the asymmetry in it too. Covered everything. Because I'm a very symmetrical person. I got out of my box a little bit.
Very good, Jenna.
If you get through and you want to talk about whatever you've made, let us know.
Does anyone have any questions about, oh, very good, Riley. That looks great.
Hazel, who I don't know which one who made
Oh.
that, but that's a very good idea.
I like that.
Yes, you can use cardboard, you can lay it out.
Oh, she did a belt. Nice,
Yeah.
Hazel.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Hazel, you'll have to get Mom to email me that, a picture of you with that for sure. I'll put my email in the chat.
Not everybody makes a belt. I'm impressed.
Oh. So I am putting in the chat, guys, my email. If any of you had mom or dad or could get them or grandma or aunt or uncle to take a picture of you with your craft and send it to me, that would be great. I'm also going to go ahead and put in the chat a survey. And so what this survey tells us, if you've done our other camps, you know that this survey tells us what you think about it, okay? And we'd love to hear from it. All you have to do is, if you're on a tablet, you can click on it with your finger, or on a computer, click on it with your mouse, okay? And let us know what you think, what you learned, how we did. And if there's not any questions, be sure you show us your metamorphosis craft. And Miss Gail, do you have anything else?
No, but I'm enjoying looking at like Riley and Jenna both held up theirs and they look really good.
Riley, did you have a question? No? Okay. Very
Yeah,
good.
look
It
at
looks
that.
great, Riley.
I love it.
William,
That's
how's
awesome.
yours coming? I know we've seen Hazel's.
Look
Oh,
at
that looks
Oh,
good.
very cool. Yeah.
Maddie,
very
how's
cool.
yours coming?
Oh, look at the insect. Look at Hazel was holding up that insect. That's good too. Y'all have done such a good
Keep
job.
going off for some reason.
That's okay. You definitely can. What we're going to do is we've recorded this. So we'll post it and send it out in an email. That way you can see, if you need to go back and hear some of Miss Gail's instructions, you can do that.
Okay.
Landon, how did everything go for you? Oh, is he still on? Oh, I think he slid off. Oh, there you are. I see you. How did everything go for you, dude? Good deal. Good
Okay.
deal. All right, Miss Gail. Well, I think that they are good to go. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on. Tell Miss Gail thank you for us. Give us a wave.
Thank you. Y'all been a good group.
And we will hopefully see some of you in our other camps.
Like tomorrow.